Welcome, Grace family and friends. I thank you for opening your email, and I also thank you for watching this video. I hope you'll share it with all your family and friends. Also hope you'll read the newsletter, get all the details, a lot of events, a lot of things happening. We don't want you to miss anything. So I hope you'll take the time to read it, mark your calendars, and join us at as many of those things as you can. I would like to share a message with you today from Psalm 51. Psalm 51 is one of my favorite Psalms, and so I wanted to just talk with you. But first, I need you to understand King David wrote Psalm 51, and he wrote it at a pretty hard time in his life. He had done some pretty awful things, and his fellowship with the Father had been broken. Not his relationship, but his Father. And I need you to understand the difference in that, because our relationship with the Father is our position with Him, that we're a child of God. If you know Jesus Christ and you have a personal relationship with God through Jesus Christ, that can't change. In Baptist churches, we say you can't lose your salvation. And the reason we teach that is because if there's anything that can remove the relationship, that can change your position, take away your salvation, that one thing, whatever it might be, becomes more powerful than the blood of Christ. And nothing is more powerful than the blood of Christ. So David's fellowship with the Father was broken. His relationship was strained at best. But listen to his heart as he wrote Psalm 51, verse number 1. Be gracious to me, God, according to your faithful love, according to your abundant compassion. Blot out my rebellion and wash away my guilt. What would that feel like, to have your guilt just washed away, and cleanse me from my sin? Verse number 10 is my favorite verse in the chapter. He says, God, create a clean heart for me and renew a steadfast spirit within me. You know, David had done some pretty awful things, and his relationship was in a bad place, and his soul, his heart needed it to be restored. He needed that fellowship to come back. He needed to walk in step with the Spirit again and to be at peace, not only with God, but with himself. And so he cried out to God in that verse and got it. Let me ask you this. What do you need to confess today? Is there something in your life from your past or going on right now that's caused a strain in the relationship, that's broken the fellowship with the Father, that your soul is crying out and needing it to be restored? All you got to do is fall into his arms. He is waiting with open arms. Only God can wash away the guilt. Only God can create that clean heart. Only God can renew that steadfast spirit and give you strength to keep going. You know, Jesus, on the wall behind me, Jesus said, come to me, all you who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest for your souls. That's what David was looking for. That's what most of us need from time to time. I know I have needed it from time to time. Maybe today you need that. I so desperately want you to have that. I hope you'll fall into his arms and just feel that loving embrace as he restores you as a child of God and loves on you and lets you know that. I'm praying for you. I hope you'll do that. You know, I want to tell you, bring you up to date on a few things that are happening here at the church. On April 10th, we had a special called family meeting. Our family meetings are what some churches call business meetings. And in that meeting, we agreed on and signed a new lease for our property. After some negotiation with the owner of this property, he agreed to reset the current lease. It had another year left on it, so he did this a year early. He agreed to reset our lease to 2015 when we first moved in here. So what does that mean? Well, everything in the lease stays the same. The only thing that changes is the payment schedule. So instead of paying what we're paying today, current rate, by the way, we're going to go back 6 years ago and pay what we were paying then. That's going to save this church over $30,000 in the next 2 years. That's an incredible gift that God gave to us through the generosity of this other believer who believes in us. And it's an incredible gift just from God to take care of this church. And so we're going to do that. You know, what that also means is we're going to try, as you invest in your generosity, as you invest in the vision and mission of this church, your lead team and I, we are hoping to set that aside, or as much of that as we can, set that aside in order to save that so that we'll have money to lease more space as it comes available in this complex. Let me talk to you about changes in the Nevada state COVID mandates. 2 changes that really mean the most to us is, one, the social distancing is now 3 foot and capacity is now 80%. So what does that mean for us? Well, what that means for us is we reset our worship center to pre-COVID days. We have all of our chairs back in here, and we're ready for you. We have space for you, and we've got it set up, ready to go. Listen, it doesn't change anything in the children's space. We still need you to register for that. I hope you will register for that. I would hate for your children to miss all that team has planned for them and all the excitement they get to do in there because you forgot to register. So please register for those kids. That will also help us know when to start the second service as we get there. So we're ready for you. It's all ready to go and great, and we just need you to do that. I hope you'll understand the importance of registering with us for Sunday service. So we really need you to do that. Listen, Grace, family, and friends, we are so thankful that you are part of our church. Whether you worship online or on site, you are deeply appreciated and loved. I hope that the time will come when you're ready to come back. I hope that's soon. I miss you. I'd love to see you. I know some of you joined us and you live in other states. You live away from here and you can't join us. I know some of you have health issues and you can't be here. Continue to worship with us online. You are valuable to us. We appreciate you. But those of you that can, maybe it's time to start thinking about coming back and worshiping on site, in person with all the rest of us. We miss you. We sure love to have you do that. You know, let me tell you a few things I need from you. Number one, let's finish strong. Let's finish strong. We're almost to the end. You can see it. It's almost here. And we need to do that, number one, by practicing the basic protocols. Listen, I know these protocols have been frustrating, irritating. I know some of you don't even believe them, but I also know they're working. That's how we got to where we are today. So let's continue to practice the basic protocols. Let's finish strong. Think about getting your vaccination. I can't tell you, I wouldn't tell you to go get that. Two things I can tell you. One, my wife Denny and I, we both got our vaccination and we're glad we did. Number two, I would ask you to make an informed decision, not a fearful one. Make your decision based on real investigation, real research, not conspiracy theories, not social media, not people around you's opinions, but real research from medical professionals. And make a decision, as I said, make an informed decision, not a fearful one. Either way, but make it a real informed decision. Listen, don't forget to register for on-site worship. We need you to do that, especially for those kids. That helps us measure when we start that second service. And Grace, we need more volunteers. Every ministry of this church is in need of more volunteers. I tell you all the time, I love you, God loves you, and your church needs you. Grace, I'm telling you, your church needs you. We have a lot of places. Fill out a Connect card. Let us know you're willing to help. We'll work with you on where that is. Grace, I love you, God loves you, and your church needs you. I sure hope to see you soon. God bless.